In 1948, the hall was sold to Cambridgeshire Education Authority and was made a school for girls with special needs. The new headmistress, Miss Dixon, knew she had a task on her hands when she arrived, but she worked together with the school bursars to make a school to be proud of.
Some of the girls were a little bit naughty. Now I don't know why people think we are so naughty. We only like a tiny bit of fun.
Every week they went to church.
When the fight was up,
adventures whilst at the school, and many a student stood expectantly at the school gate, hoping they could escort a girl or two up the outer road.
1980, a very special visitor returned to Orton Hall. Captain Van de Trott came back from Germany to see where he had been prisoner of war. He was now a rich industrialist, and Miss Dixon was not immune to his charms.
In 1986, the school, however, was forced to close. There are a lack of special needs girls to go around. The girls had been particularly naughty that evening, and Miss Dixon had been up and down to the common room like a yo-yo. However, once the girls had gone to sleep, a very strange thing occurred.
My friends, the hedgehogs, the fruits of the spirit, had decided to pay a visit. May you be filled with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, goodness, and self-control. I think our work is done.
The next morning when the girls wake up, they carefully make their beds, folding everything neatly. They put their clothes on neatly and brush their teeth. They move around nicely and brush each other's hair. They speak nicely to each other and move around them.
Oh dear Scarlett, how I love being kind to everybody. My heart is full of loving and kind thoughts.
Oh, I know, my kind generous friend. All I want to do is love everybody and help out at every opportunity.
In 1948, the school was forced to close. There was simply not enough naughty schoolgirls to go around. I'm afraid, Miss Dixon, the coffers are dry. We're going to have to close. There's not enough naughty schoolgirls left.
What?
The school is closing.
What?
Closing.
Hedgehogs, they're very loose.
Gave you everything I had, everything and no less. Then I
In 1986, the school was closed and Orton Hall began its adventure as we see the hotel today. It was not an auspicious start, but on the first day, the drains became blocked and the most dreadful smell emanated far and wide. What is that smell? It's revolting. Nobody would ever want to come and stay here. It's a disgrace.
Now we have almost reached the end of our story, Maisie, but I just want to take you to meet one of our most beloved local characters, a bit of a folk hero, our Nobby. From 19 1992 to 2006, Nobby lived in the bus shelter opposite Orton Hall. He was protected by the fruits of the spirit. He was a beloved character. The staff from Orton Hall always made sure he had something to eat, and the Orton Lumber residents looked after him.
In 2000, a conference on the history of the hall took place, and a number of familiar faces returned. Amongst them was Marjorie and her sister Isabel, now over 90, who had arrived back in their old Rolls Royce.
Oh, Isabel, look, we're here at last. Isn't it wonderful? But look at that poor man in the bus shelter. Quick, stop, chauffeur. Let's ask him to have dinner with us. Next came the two naughty schoolgirls, now middle-aged and teachers themselves.
Then came Miss Dixon, who on retirement had eloped to Germany and married a prisoner of war and was truly content.
At last came the hedgehogs, happy to have their friends back together.
As the old ladies grew older, they had come to realise how important the fruits of the Spirit had been to them, and how they helped them live a loving and kind life. They had learned that to be kind and generous to each other that was real.
And as the old ladies stood there with all their friends who had grown up and loved in the hall, they cast their minds back to the place they all loved, Orton Hall, the place they all called home. Really amazing story. Yes, my dear. Now go in there and get your granddad, and don't breathe a word about it to anyone.
And as Maisie turned to go, Mary, devoted housekeeper, Christian and friend, floated off into the trees, contented that at least for today her work was done. Gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. I wonder if you would just put your hands together once again for our wonderful performers, the Drama Club at the St Bottles School. And if they could all come back up onto the stage, please.
Hello.
Huntley? Is Lady Huntley here? Lady Huntley, if you could just come to the front again. Could you move back, Albert, just a little bit? Lady Huntley, would you be able to say your line about Orton Longville? Because we've got a very special guest who maybe they could just go off the stage one more time. Donald and Melanie. Because Lady Huntley, and if we can have the two orphans from America, we've got a special guest here to meet you. Okay? We just need to play the national anthem for America. It's on there as well. So, Lady Huntley, could you just come and say your line again about Orton Longville? Into this microphone.
Honey, I want to make Arn Hall great again.
Look who's here to meet you, Lady Huntley. Look!
Donald Trump!
Right, before we finish, we have one more thing that we want to do. As part of our Living History and Listening project, we have collected the names, this was in honour of the Queen. So the stained glass window that we're going to put back on the stage has got 9 decades of the Queen's life. And each year at St Botolph's Primary School designed one panel, and we worked with our lovely residents here at Longville Court, and we are delighted to see you. Thank you so much for coming. They're just over here. We would also like to mention 2 people who were involved in our project. And they were 2 ladies, one lady who's one of our living historians, Joan Richardson, who is Vienna's grandma and unfortunately can't be here today because she hasn't been well, and we were really thinking of her. We would also like to remember a lovely lady who came to Holy Trinity Church, Penny Orders, who turned 90 in December and has her name written on the train of our dress, which you are now going to see, and died shortly after. So we would like also to remember her. Now, in a minute we are going to do a parade to honour the ladies. We have got our sweet wrapper dress back, which is meant to be designed like the Queen's coronation dress, and behind it we have a train which has the names of ladies over 90 attached to it. So we are going to be honouring them. So if I can ask the children maybe to go and stand and walk behind the train, that would be lovely. Would like to go to the back. I don't know if maybe, or you can join in the parade halfway up. Now, our Queen who's in the front in the sweet wrapper dress is holding a picture of the oldest resident, I think, just about on our dress, who is called Doris. And Doris is lives on Arundel Road, and she is 97, and she's currently in the old people's home, and she was a long-term practice member at Holy Trinity Church, and she was an avid conservative, so she might not be very happy about recent events, but we've got a lovely picture of her, so you can see her.
You need to come out now. Why?
Okay, we're going.
gentlemen, Shan came to me at the beginning of the academic year and she said, I don't want it to be as big as last year. Last year was big. She said, I just want to run a little drama club. I want to keep it small. Shan, your idea of small and my idea of small are not quite the same. That was huge. Can we give Shan a great big clap? Children, you were marvellous. I cannot believe how many costume changes there were. It was like some BBC costume drama. It was fantastic. I love knowing the local history of Orton Hall, because this is where we all live and work, and knowing what happens where we are is just as important as knowing what happens in London or whatever. So for bringing history alive, Shan, thank you so much. There are a few people that we'd like to thank. Sharon Puxley, Eve Marshall, who did the wonderful poppies with the Year 4 children. Thank you, I know they're not here. Kathy Price, who did the glass. Mr. File is heading off to Neen Valley. It's our loss, it's there again. But will we ever forget Mr. File as Mrs. Dixon? Can we give Mr. File a great big clap? But we know there's 4 people who've worked particularly hard. So Matt, up you come. I would hate to be sexist, so you've got flowers as well. Karen Harding. Suzanne Wakefield, where are you, Suzanne? And Shan, of course, yourself. Well done. There are loads and loads of other people who helped, more than we could name. If you've helped, and loads of us have, thank you very much for your time. Parents, thank you for bringing your kids, getting them sorted. But really, Shan, I think you'll agree, the stars of today are the children. Well done, children. From nothing, you have created a wonderful history of Orton Hall. So give yourselves a great big clap. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Children, take a huge, huge bow. They were awesome, weren't they? Okay, thank you very much. Now, I think would you like to stay up on stage and take the honour, or would you like to sit down? You want to sit down? Okay, well, shall we do it very carefully coming back down off the steps then? And we're just going to let them get down off the stage, and then we're going to have somebody else speak to us very briefly. So when you go off,